Will Deno ever push Node over? Thanks for answering these silly questions, by the way. I really like listening to your point of view. Well, Del Boy, you are welcome. Thanks for asking questions and making it fun for me to be here with you. I am going to say I really thought that Deno had something interesting. What I thought that Deno was doing right, of course, you know I don't like TypeScript, but there is something to be said for having the balls to pick a side and go with it and not all this middle of the road crap. And I thought that Deno seemed to be doing that pretty well. It seems that they've backed down a little bit, which I'm disappointed about. But I think that Corona may have killed Deno. I think that it may have gotten a false start because at the very moment that it should have been gaining momentum and really pushing forward, Corona dropped, and then all the meetups stopped and all the conferences stopped. I think that Corona killed Deno. There's another couple things with Deno. Deno has a few fundamental flaws. This isn't really a flaw, but the secure by default, no file network environment access unless explicitly enabled. Well, duh. What app are you going to create that doesn't need those things? So I think that maybe some of the stuff that the primitives that they were building around this could be useful in other contexts. Maybe they could put more tooling around it or something. But as cute as it sounds to say secure by default, what they're securing, it just, yeah, you're going to have to use all these things. I don't know of any tool that I build that doesn't need pretty much all three of these. You know, even if it's a command line tool, I probably need network access for something. And if it's a command line tool, I definitely need file access and environment access. If it's a server, I just don't know when you wouldn't need environment access. So shipping as a single executable is absolutely amazing. Absolutely the right thing to do. Reduce the complexity, make it easy, take it out of the developers' hands. Don't put that burden on the developers, make it part of the tooling. That's awesome. Having Deno format where we don't bicker and argue about formatting, awesome. Love it. Strong leadership there. Excellent. Standard modules, great. We need standard modules. Now, where they screwed up big time is the way that they approach the module system. I'm trying to look for where they have their module system because this is my other big critique. Whenever someone creates a platform for developers, they always make sure that they implement a fatal flaw that is well known and easily solved. This is part of the process that you must go through. If you don't do that, whatever you're creating isn't going to get any hype. Good solutions that are well-reasoned and that don't have significant fatal problems with them don't get any hype because you don't get anybody on Twitter saying, hey, this is retarded. Why would anybody do something so idiotic as this? And then creating a thread of 6,000 comments back and forth boosting its popularity. So if you're going to create a tool, you have to do something really, really stupid that makes no sense and is just absolutely retarded. And for Deno, that was the module system is screw version numbers, screw having all the checks in place, screw everything that Node got right, that Ruby and Python had gotten wrong, and that Go had since gotten right. Well, actually, I don't know if Go had gotten it right at the time that they started Deno. I'm trying to think if Go modules had been announced prior to Deno being announced. I'm not 100% sure on that, actually. But if you look at the talk, again, this is on Creeds of Craftsmanship, Go with versions. So let's see if we can just find that real quick. Go with versions. I'm going to copy and paste this. They outline every solvable problem that with modules. Well, and the unsolvable problems. This is a perfect overview of everything that basically can be known about package management. And Go module solves all solvable problems, and it doesn't solve or attempt to solve the problems that can't be solved, because we can put these in two categories. There are things that we know that we don't know how to get right, so they're not solvable. But there are things that we know how to solve, and Deno just didn't even try. And it's been a while since I looked at it, but they basically implemented all of this stuff on top of their module system to get around the problems that they created. And so you basically end up back with the same problem of NPM where you have to have this third-party service that manages everything, and you can't actually use the URLs because you can't actually depend on them. Some of the problems people thinks that this has that it doesn't have is that modules are cached. So it's not going and downloading the module every single time from the internet. When you package your build, unless I'm mistaken and it doesn't do this, but I'm pretty sure that it did and that it still does, it's not going to have to go out and fetch those modules. But during your development process, you basically are getting any random version, which is not a good development process.